So I posted a video yesterday that was pretty controversial, and I'm leaving it up because I still think my points hold, but I want to clarify on some things. First of all, I am in no way, shape, or form saying Alex Preddy did anything to invite ICE agents to execute him in the street. He had a weapon on him, concealed carry. He had a concealed carry permit. And when the ICE agents swarmed him, pepper sprayed him in the face for daring to step between an ICE agent and the woman that ICE agent wanted to push to the ground, and they threw him on the ground and jumped on top of him, one ICE agent came over and disarmed the person that they were detaining or arresting or whatever they thought they were doing. And the other one said, "Holy shit, a gun in a hand," even though it was another ICE agent holding the gun, and unloaded his entire fucking clip. Absolutely did Alex Preddy do nothing wrong. And my question about bringing a gun to a protest was not about Alex. But Alex's situation shows me that these are trigger-happy cowards with a second-grade reading level, emboldened by this administration who's told them that they will protect them no matter what happens. They don't care that Alex Preddy was allowed to have a gun on his person. They don't give a shit that he was concealed carrying legally. They don't care that there's significant legal precedent, that the use of deadly force is not justified when you jump in front of a maneuvering vehicle trying to flee, and that fleeing the scene is not reason to use deadly force, and that not complying with your orders is not reason to put 3 bullets in their head. So moving forward, if you're going to bring a gun to a protest because it makes you feel more safe and secure, makes you feel like you're ready to defend yourself, all I'm asking is that you think about clearly what situation would pulling that gun out and pointing it at someone. Again, I'm not saying Alex Preddy did that. I'm saying, given Alex's case, given Renee's case, what situation moving forward does it make more sense, and does it save more lives than it hurts to pull the gun out and point it at them or start shooting it at them? Because, like, people came into the comments of that video and were like, if I go down, I'm taking a bunch of them with me. You know, there's this hero complex that misses the whole point of what a protest is. That may seem valiant. You might think you sound like a comic book hero, but you're going to get all the people around you killed. The point of a protest is to act as a unit, is to be shoulder to shoulder, such that if they pull away one of your comrades, you grab onto them and you pull back, and then someone grabs onto you and pulls back, or you swarm them, or you as a white person jump between ICE agents and the black or brown person they're trying to detain and fucking drop your elbow on them to break that and get that person away to safety and disperse into the crowd. The point of a protest is to have numbers, is to act as a unit, instead of one individual who thinks you can solve all this by pointing your gun out and pointing it at them and shooting it at them. So if you're going to bring the gun to the protest, just think about the situation. Play out in your head what would need to happen for it to make more sense for you to draw that weapon and point it or shoot it than it would to not. Because from what I can see, these agents and this administration want a reason to open fire on crowds. They come onto the air after one of these killings and say, oh, they had a weapon. Oh, they were dangerous terrorists. They were trying to hurt ICE agents. Even though we can see from the videos from 10 different fucking angles in both of them that that's not the case. They still need that narrative. Don't give them that narrative. And my final thought is about the radical flank theory. I'm aware of it. Thank you. I'm aware that some people theorize that MLK was only effective because of the threat of violence from more radical wings like Malcolm X. The thing you need to realize about the radical flank theory is that it also says that the only reason the violent resistance of, say, Malcolm X was in any way effective was because they had the more nonviolent moderate wing that they felt like they could negotiate with. So this theory is just as much support for nonviolent resistance as it is for violent. In fact, it's more support for nonviolent resistance because in cases where the violent resistance dominated the narrative, the radical flank theory does not apply. It is not as effective when the violence dominates the narrative. You need to have mostly nonviolent resistance with some threat of violence sprinkled in. That's how the radical flank theory works. So please, again, just think about the decision you're making when you bring a gun to a protest. I'm not saying Alex did that. I'm not saying Alex did anything wrong having a gun on his person. He probably didn't even make a decision to carry the gun. This is about looking at Alex's case and Renee's case and saying, how can we protect the most people moving forward? And please, don't misconstrue my words as saying we should just roll over and die. Don't take my words as saying we should just give up. We should not fight. There is a fight to be had. The protest itself is a form of fighting back. We have to be in the streets, en masse, showing them that this is not okay, that we're not going to stand idly by and let them execute our comrades. But the best way to do that is to act as a unit instead of as a single person with a hero complex. Think about the other people at the protest before you pull some hero shit and pull out a gun that's going to get them all killed. We need to resist, but we need to resist together.